Hey, how you doing? This is Rich from Rei-Mon Buki. Welcome to part 3 of our 4-part series on making your own bokken. In part 1, we picked the proper piece of wood. In part 2, we designed the Japanese sword, or a bokken for you. In part 3, we're going to carve one. And in part 4, we'll look at proper oil finishes. To get a good result, you certainly could pull your router out and route yourself a very nice bokken. First cutting it out with your bandsaw, of course, and thinning it down with your planer. Absolutely, it'd be a great result. But to the average person, let's be honest, you don't really need any more than one of these. Okay, I've made dozens of bokken with just this. Now, it's a lot of arm work, no doubt about it, but it gets a good result. Now, lately, in the last few years, I've been picking up one of these. This is a Surform. It's a Stanley tool, again, $7 item down at the Home Depot. Great piece of equipment. I definitely recommend it. Nice, a little easier for your finish work. And a sanding block. I got to tell you, I know a lot of people balk at the idea of sanding block or sanding period. But folks, this is not Japan, and this is not the 1600s. You know, this is New Hampshire, and it's the 21st century. And I'll use just about any tool to get the nice result I want. Now, let's take a look at the piece of wood. The standard blank comes with the standard one-finger curve. That comes square. We're going to attack this piece of wood at the corners. Okay? With the general idea being we're going to knock this corner off, and then you can kind of figure that it'll be this corner will knock off, and this corner will knock off, etc., etc. Now, on the top, of course, we're only going to be taking a section like this, and maybe some of the width. On the bottom, we'll be knocking, on the blade side rather, we'll be knocking it round. So quite a bit of carving, and absolutely make no mistake, this is going to take hours. So I break it up into sections if I were you, unless you're used to the action of carving, and really attack it like that. Be patient. Okay, I've gotten a few emails and several questions on the YouTube email about pricing and availability of blanks and oil and the other products. Please, any questions, write me at raymon@email.com and we'll get you any current information. Okay, so let's get to it. For those of you guys who have a vise, use a vise if you want. This is a glove. Use a glove. As the chips come up through the blade here, they come out here, they get shoved into your hand right here. It's horrible. Wear a glove. Now, like I said before, we're going to attack this by starting on the corners. I typically start on the blade curve side. And the first step is to take off the corner. Now, like I said before, some of y'all are looking at this going, this is going to take hours. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. But I will also tell you that from rough blank to rough cut, let me grab one here. So here's one that's just been roughed. You can see that it's rounded, and you can see that the top has been notched. And generally, it's to shape. Here's the blade. You can see it's rounded out. That's about 2 hours, maybe a little less of carving. And so we just kind of continue on. Now, you can lay it on the ground if you want. If you don't have a good back, you don't want to avoid that. I've also in the past used the bucket to raise it up a little bit. I kind of dig the bucket idea. If you don't have a shop or a basement or somewhere to do this, then go to the Home Depot, buy yourself a piece of canvas, you know, a 10 by 10 piece of painter's canvas, spread it on the floor and make a mess. Now on the inside, of course, you can see that the curve sometimes makes the blade doesn't even touch, so you have to angle off the blade. And continue the cut. Constantly setting and resetting the blade is pretty typical, so don't be shy about that. If you have to Continue to raise the blade, lower the blade, tighten the blade. Very common. Oops. And again, don't be in a rush, okay? My suggestion is carve it for an hour, put it aside, go do something else, come back the next day, all right? This can really, really work your arm. So